Hello again, toy gun collectors. So I got this from AliExpress. It came in this bag. This brand is called Yingtu, although the listings on AliExpress never mention a brand. But just wanted to show that it came in this, which is the same brand as the other 1/3 metal pistol I reviewed. Some sort of Kimber, if you want to look that one up. So this is a keychain gun. I already went ahead and took some pliers and bent that out of shape so I could really lose the keychain. I'm never going to hang this off a bag. It's metal. It's quite heavy, actually. In fact, that does lead me to the question, how heavy? It is 74 grams. That's pretty heavy. It's like twice as heavy as a Hot Wheels. Okay. So reading some Wikipedia, I figured we'd learn a little bit. So this gun dates back to 1979 when it was designed by Magnum Research and IMI, Israel Military Industries. It took 3 years, I guess. It was finished its design in 1982. Started being sold in 1983, and it can still be purchased today. This is a really big pistol in real life. I remember I thought about buying one of these maybe 20 years ago, but then I saw like a YouTube video of a girl shooting this and the thing whacked her head because this thing shoots a 50 caliber Action Express round, which according to Wikipedia is the largest pistol round available still today. So 50 cal, but it's bigger. It's a huge, huge round. I remember the grip of this thing was huge. It would be literally 3 times that deep and then 3 times that thick. So it was a big gun to hold. And at the time it was like $1,200, so I decided to not buy it. Anyways, I did pull out a 1/6 scale plastic gun. This one's a little different, of course. I don't even know what brand made this because you can't really put branding on something this small. But if this is 1/6 scale, it is literally half the height and half the length and half the thickness. Even these little 1/6, you can have a little playability, but being made of plastic, I wouldn't want to play with these too much because they're going to break eventually, right? So that obviously cocks back. This hammer doesn't cock back though, but you can take out the magazine and there's a painted bullet in there. So for its size, they're pretty good and you can collect a lot of them. Okay, but now nothing else moves. So that's why this thing is pretty neat, because it's being made of metal. You can fidget with this thing for hours on end and it's not going to break. So we have this. I assume that's the safety. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never owned this gun for real, but I have to assume that's a safety. You can see the, oh wow, yeah, it literally clicked in place. The trigger moved. Let's see. Let's see, I'm going to cock this back and let's see the trigger move. Yeah, so that is definitely connected. And when I pull the trigger, the hammer will cock forward, so that's pretty neat. But the safety is not functional, as you can see. It still works without it, but whatever. And you can see it's starting to scrape the ball. There's a ball bearing, I guess, under this with a spring, and it's resting in that detent. Okay, let's see about the slide. The spring is really strong. I wonder if maybe the magazine has something to do with that. The mag release here, this little button, it's spring activated, and it does actually lock the mag. And look at this, I wonder if this is removable. It looks like a brass bullet. Yeah, look at that, that's pretty neat. It comes with a little brass bullet. Hold on. There's no spring loading, or is there? Oh, look at that. Actually, I'm wrong again. So the mag is spring loaded. I'm gonna guess you could put maybe 3 to 5 rounds in that thing. So that's neat. The tray itself is looking like maybe it's brass. And then this is some sort of die-cast zinc plated metal, I think. And then the base is painted black. There's some sort of tab holding it in place. Or actually, maybe this literally slides off like a real one. But I'm afraid if I slide that open, the spring will go flying out. I don't think it's meant to be taken apart. I think this does slide on, but it's that tab that's what's keeping this black piece from sliding forward. So you'd have to bend that thing to get that off. But I see no reason to do so. The little bullet's super, super cool. Alright. So that pops back. Let's see now if the slide is easy. No, it's still a really strong spring in holding this thing back. On the side itself is printed Desert Eagle, .50 AE, pistol, IMI. Okay. Wikipedia says this brand is now owned by Kahr, K-A-H-R, which also makes pistols. Alright, well, let's see what's about this side. It's also printed here, for Minnesota, but made in Israel. Interesting. Does this have anything to do with the other side, I wonder? No, they're independent, these levers here. So this is in the up position, that's in the down. So it would have been neat if they were connected somehow, but it's a small model. So looking on the sights, yeah, there is a notch cut away there, although the sides, I don't know why it ended up that way. Why is this side lower than that side? Or look at this, it almost looks like the thing is at an angle. This is really weird. Right, I'm holding the pistol vertically, but this whole line here is at an angle, and same here, right? The hammer looks vertical, but the whole slide itself is really messed up. Oh well, it's really strange, but yeah, you can see clearly this thing is warped somehow. Alright, looking over this some more, we got the slide catch here. Boy, that spring is really tight. There's probably 2 springs. Let me try to lock this open here. Alright, move that up, it's locked open. So if you look in here, it has 2 bars. The recoil guides, I guess. I have to assume behind here there's 2 springs riding on these 2 bars. And so that's why it's very, very tough to actually cock backwards. And notice there's a gap here. Alright. The barrel opening itself, it's blocked off right there, so you can't really shoot anything, of course, unless you had a long drill bit and a lot of patience. Here, it does bottom out around that depth there, so if you try to look in there, it's just like raw, die cast metal there. Alright, looking down here, there's some sort of Phillips screw holding that trigger in place. Let me see if I can move the trigger again and see if that moves. Yeah, it does rock. So that is the trigger. It's got 2 sidebars that I guess are actuating something back in there. Then here, we're gonna need a flashlight. That's the, I guess the bolt meant to engage the bullet, but it actually looks like it has ribs and stuff there. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, moving on. So I'm gonna just push this down. Yeah, that's a very strong set of springs there. Yeah, the quality of this is not very good. There's some sort of dent in there. Maybe it's just poor casting. The front sight, yeah, it is protruding. The front sight seems okay. There is this lever here, but this pin is in the way. I was thinking maybe this is the takedown. I have to assume this thing swings forward and allows you to remove the slide, but this thing kind of pivots, but something is blocking it. It's this pin, I think. But this pin is only spring-loaded to move in this direction, that way. So I'm pretty sure you can take these things apart, but I don't know how. So, nor do I really care to, but yeah, I have to assume it has something to do with removing this part. Leave a comment if you own one of these or know better. Alright, so this is not an ambidextrous mag release. As you can see, it's flush on this side. It's basically for right-handed people only. The grip is plastic. You can actually buy some of these with wooden grips, but I thought I would try the cheaper version first. And now that I see this is all jacked up, I don't know if I want to buy another one, because yeah, this seems a little bit out of whack. Alright, but the finish is pretty nice. It's like a nice satin or matte finished gunmetal color. It's obviously catching the light, but it's not super glossy either. Okay, yeah, some pins if you want to remove that stuff. Probably nothing worth seeing up in there. No. Okay. Will this just cock? No. This will not go in unless you actually activate the mag release. So that's nice that you know that's not going to fall out and get lost. If you did actually want to use it as a keychain, it'd be very difficult to hit that mag release, dangling around on a bag or on your jean belts or something. Alright, yeah, it's really difficult to cock that back. That's the only issue I have, but it's nice that it has the sidewalk. And yeah, you can actually use your fingertip to pull the trigger, so it's neat. It's really neat. So here's that other metal one, the Kimber I mentioned, made by Yingtu as well. And this one's cool as well, I think. But being a 1911, a much smaller pistol in reality. Yeah, so they are to scale, so that's nice. And then a long time ago, I bought this plastic John Wick Combat Master, but this is long sold out. But it's plastic. Sure, it still works and all that, but if you slid this back and forth a million times, it's just going to become a mess. Although the plastic does make it a better keychain, I think, because it's not as heavy. But this is going to break off, I think, and you'll just lose the whole thing. So, yeah, that's the issue with the plastic. Okay, so yeah. This is this John Wick 2011, maybe it's a 2011. I'm not sure if it's a 1911 or 2011, but there are my three little 1/3 scale pistols, and I'm going to collect some more. They have these metal ejection ones where they actually eject the bullets, so hopefully those will show up in the mail, and we'll see you when that review happens. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time around.